the COD Rec League. We're here tonight with a couple matches coming your way. First up, we got Minnesota Floppr, Sasky Shotgunners here in the Silver North Division. These are two teams full of players that are very recognizable, I would say, to a lot of people in the Rec League here. So, you know, we're kicking things off. I got Top Life Goon on the desk with me. Always good to have you. So, you know, the GOAT's here. We're ready to get started.
Yeah, man, I'm ready to get started, man. I got shy. I almost messed you up. Shio on the desk. Minnesota Floppers, man. Going for this P1, getting this first 16 seconds is great, but they're trying to rotate, trying to get spots for this P2. You need trademarks in the back, getting a big two-piece. So that is making Sasky Shotgunners spawn up in that one position. You see Minnesota Floppers starting to just get all around, get all the kills on the map, just taking full control of the kill feed, full control of the map. Now Sasky Shotgunners are spawning up at their spawns, trying to go to next. They're a little split up, but one kill goes in the favor of Captain Bonkers, and they're making their way towards this P2.
Yep, it is going to be teams. I mean, these both teams that are going to be fighting here to be pushing through in playoffs right now. I mean, they're both going to be top seeds, essentially. Both teams are sitting at 4-1 right now on the season. So, you know, both these teams basically playoff secured. 4 wins usually gets you enough. So what you need to be is we're going to get a nice flank here out of Captain Bonkers, trying to get around the back. That's 3 dead. So Minnesota going to lose 3 players on the map right out of the gate here. And we're going to continue going forward as we're pushing things out. It is going to be a number of shots going down. Minnesota's going to lose 3 again. It's going to be a nice 2-piece out of Zymes here, but they're going to lose, or everyone's, I guess, is off the hill as of right now. Zymes trying to get some cutoffs. He's going to get a nice kill there. Finds Vermont. Captain Bonkers goes down at the hand of BB. That's a name that we've seen literally since day 1 of the Rec League. But going over to P3, Minnesota carrying about a 40-point lead here, and they're looking pretty hot. It's a good start so far for them.
Yeah, and they're getting to these hills first. That makes it good, but there goes Mojo in Vermont. Getting a big 2-piece as this hill jumps off. No teams get on hill. We see Barry 3. He's probably going to get some hill time, but, you know, this hill star is all about map control. So they're trying to just get up, trying to just keep these players deep in their spawns, trying to make it a long run before you get to this hill. But these close spawns for Minnesota Floppr is going to be very important if the Sasky Shotgunners read it. And there goes Mojo, Vermont with a big 2, Mojo with 1, and that is Sasky Shotgunners clearing out Minnesota Floppr, trying to get this game to a reasonable amount. They are 26 to 56, so they're about 30 points down, but they can hold off Sasky Shotgunners and get these kills. That would be good. But 3 big kills in the favor of Minnesota Floppr. We'll give them the last 20 seconds of this hill rotation to next. You think would have to happen, but this map is not really that big, so teams probably are just going to favor the time. But we do got pair 3 and player 6 who are here first. There could be a battle on the hill as they crank off, but as of now, it's 67-31 Minnesota Floppr lead.
Yep, and Bonkers was just spotted there as well, so they should be aware. I mean, there's a lot of spawn flipping going on hill 3 there on our previous hill, so we are going to see all these Minnesota players in the back. Bonkers is going to line 2 up, looking to make it 3, can't find the 3rd, almost gets it. Zymes brought down really low there in that instance. The rest of Sasky's got to make their way into this hill now. You can see you're going to have Mojo up top. He's going to find 1, can't pick up trademarks, but trade will get traded out there by Captain Bonkers, looking to follow up on towards BB in the back, who's going to be the highlighted player for the side of Minnesota in this match. We asked these players questions beforehand, and they did highlight BB as basically the young crack kid on their team who's been here literally since the beginning of the Rec League. So we are going to see how this shapes up. It's currently 12-9, make it 13, trying to get that weapon swap off, not able to do so. Sasky has brought the lead down to about, 40 or so points still right now as we head over towards P5. They're going to be here on this early rotation, so they're giving up the last stat scrap, and they're going to set up early for the setup.
They need to hold off. Minnesota Floppr are getting close to that 100-point mark. You see Cornholio starting off with a big kill on the Captain Bonkers, but his teammates do know he's here. BB do take that Mojo. There's Zyme. So Minnesota Floppr as a team are just picking up kills, and there's the last player on the hill. So that is time. Stop being accrued for Sasky Shotgunners. You see Minnesota Floppr, they are getting these close spawns, and so they should jump on this time here. Now they got to defend this wave of Sasky Shotgunners, and you got 2 coming from the plane, 2 coming from mid, and you see that there is a pinstripe kill feed, but it just leaves player 3, last player here. He gets taken down. All Sasky Shotgunners back to their spawns, trying to figure out, should we hit this one more time or should we just set up for next?
I mean, we are going to see right now, I mean, just a lot of rotation. You saw Trademarks in a really close cutoff position in mid as well. That was just like being prone behind that barrier in mid cut, was getting a lot of cutoffs there against the Sasky players. So they weren't really able to dig their way through. About 50 points now is going to be the lead. As Vermont's going to come around the corner, going to find one. You can see Sasky set up here for this P1. They're going to be holding on this time early on. And actually, as I say that, they're going to lose the player on the time there. So Vermont is going to be coming off. Mojo all the way on the other end of the map was split off from the rest of the team, but does look like Sasky's going to set up all the way here on this P4 side, trying to push through right now, trying to get around. You can see Vermont's going to be the one going all the way around on this flank, is going to get a nice flank off here potentially if you can spot the two players, and there's going to be the one. Finds one, Cornholio's going to fall. The second player should get spotted up here as well, so Vermont's going to find that here as we're going to set up. I mean, it's a bit odd because for a hardpoint map, there's no real rotation here for P2. P2 is basically dead center inside of both spawns. Like maybe the slightly preferred spawn is the left side of the map, but realistically, no matter where you go, there's no preferred side. So like grabbing spawns for P2, not as beneficial here on this map. It's really like P3 onwards that it really matters a lot more, and even P3 is kind of even. So it's a bit of an odd in terms of that setup because it's not something like we're used to, you know, if you're down early, you just, you know, dip off, go get some spawns, set up for new, but I mean, that's not as beneficial here on Scar.
Yeah, I'm saying that, but I mean, it's helping Minnesota Floppr right now as they're holding, you know, this hill, not allowing them to cross. But now you see Sasky Shotgunners, they're starting to get a little closer, start to turn this corner, start to get the steps, but it does not matter. BB on the hill is just taking down whoever he sees with 3 big kills going in the favor of Sasky Shotgunners. They're the break. Now you got Minnesota Floppr spawning out on this top side of the map, but with 20 seconds left, it's probably the side that they want to spawn on. Last little attempt for scrap time. Trademarks is in. Mojo finds him a big 2-piece. There goes Mojo, finding him a third. So he's currently on a 3. Now we got this rotation in next. Player 1, player 4, they will be the first players here. Mojo takes down the player here, trying to find a second, but he does get taken down. BB and Cornholio are doing what they need to do to get Minnesota Floppr on this hill to get this early time. Spawning on the right side of the map, in the back on this P3 area is where Sasky Shotgunners were coming from, but Minnesota Floppr, they make that read, take them down. Skippy with a big 2-piece before he gets taken down. But right now we got a neutral hill, and Sasky Shotgunners should have control of it.
You can see some nice, a big, like, you know, split spawn here as Vermont's going to be right in the middle of everybody. He's going to get a nice wall jump to get out, and is going to get that kill on the Cornholio to follow up, and is going to assist with a second as well as Captain Bonkers is going to chime in. So some big shots going the way of Sasky here as they're trying to hold this one down and prevent these spawn players from coming in from the backside. They're going to find one, and that's going to be a big kill. There's BB will find that one. Go looking for the one player left on the hill, and will eventually find him, but will get taken out in the process. So you can see the rotation now coming in for P4, but Sasky trying to close this lead. They're still down by, you know, 45 points. It's been a pretty consistent lead, honestly, for Minnesota. They've been able to build off of that lead at the very start, but basically just go dead even through every hill since then. And if that keeps up, they will end up taking it. So we are going to see how it plays out. Minnesota's going to be spawning here, though, back P4. And this is going to give them the really close spot right now as they're trying to get in, find the players inside. They will do so. Trademarks with a big double kill. Finds 2 players inside, and, you know, everyone from Sasky is basically down now right now. It's only Vermont out front. Everyone else is going to be spawning way out here. And it's going to be a bit now. So this is going to be some free time now for Minnesota.
Yeah, man, you got Sasky Shotgunners trying to come through. They got to find his person in the back. Captain Bonkers does find one. Now the onslaught on the hill. They got to find a player on the hill. Captain Bonkers does find him, trying to find the player on the steps. Can he find him? His teammates are there. No, Cornholio came with a big 2-piece, making Captain Bonkers have to just push up, trying to get these players when they spawn. I was like, Captain Bonkers is going to be a big play. This play, I mean, the hill is getting ready to spawn for next, because that was it for old. So we are here at this new hill. Minnesota Floppr on top. They can win here. There's no Sasky Shotgunners contest, but Vermont making this play all the way through the back. He's got to find a big 2. He finds one. Mojo finds one through the front. There's only one player on the hill. Can they find BB and take control of this hill? they can find him. Sasky Shotgunners are on. It's 152-28, so they do got to play perfect hard point from here to stop Minnesota from winning this game on this next hill. They are probably 22 seconds. They are 22 seconds away from the win. Trademark still challenging Old because he knows that all time is going to be good time for his team to get the win. Big two-piece on the hill for the break, and the last scrap time should go in the favor of Minnesota. Sasky Shotgunners are setting up for this next set of rotations. They do get a big three-piece, but Minnesota Floppr is only 11 seconds away from the win.
Yep, I mean, it's going to be close, and I mean, Sasky did a lot better on that round because the first time around on P5, it went very much in Minnesota's favor. It was basically like no one on the hill or Minnesota was in the hill. So Sasky did a pretty good job of at least holding on there and preventing too much time from slipping away in this favor of the Minnesota Floppr here. You can see Minnesota spawning out all the way in the back right now. Is going to be trying to get in on towards this hill. Sasky is, you know, crossing the 190 point mark. It's going to be a big flank here from Trademarks, who's basically always on some kind of flank. Like, if you don't see Trademarks in front of you, you know he's 100% behind you. But that is going to be Minnesota clearing out the hill with 5 seconds to go. I don't know if Sasky will make it here in time. They will get 2 players on. So you're going to find one. Trademark's last player on the hill is going to get eventually found. Yeah, there he goes. Okay, finally gets found. But with only 4 seconds to go, I mean, you got to play absolute perfect. You got to hold on basically for dear life if you're Sasky. We're headed to P2, and this is not exactly the most holdable hill in existence in this game.
Nah, this is one of the harder hit to hold, but you probably can contest it if you can, but no, there is the break, but it is being contested. Time's running up for Minnesota, only 2 seconds away, but battles going back and forth, but the battles are won right there by Minnesota Floppr. There is the game. Round over for Minnesota Floppr. That was, I mean, a good little hard point towards the end. Minnesota Floppr kept that 40-point lead, so, I mean, they just kept it insane. We see the crack hit BB 46 and 27, just having a master class of a game. I mean, the guy's been around forever, and he's still just putting down numbers. 2-0 Trademarks or will Captain Bonkers put on his hard hat and start going to work and make this a 1-1 game. We are here first. Sasky Shotgunners are going to decide to just take this bomb through roof to go towards this A site. You got Minnesota Floppers, nobody here, so this is good catch and completely off the guard. They put the bomb down. You got Zymes finding Captain Bonkers as he jumps through the window for the first blood. 3v4, but they do still got control of this A site. Cornholio with the sniper takes down Vermont. Skippy does find BB to make this a 2v3. Bomb still over there on that A site.
Yeah, now we're in a really awkward position here because you got 2 plays from Minnesota basically back in the spawn. Trades out in the middle and basically shutting down this A side lane, trying to find anything really. You got Mojo that's basically stuck on the bomb site. They haven't really spotted him. And Skippy's actually going to find Zymes. So the player number 5 in the back, Minnesota, that is going to be Cornholio with the sniper. So I think that presence over towards B is going to draw both players to the B bomb site. The issue is nobody's actually here. Mojo's been there with the bomb on A the entire time. They have no idea. Mojo has no idea where anyone's gone. And yeah, the 2 players from Minnesota are now grouped up because Cornholio, you know, does have that sniper. Was probably thinking, I mean, probably thought maybe originally you could wrap around, try to pick up your teammate's weapon, but not able to do so. So he's going to be rocking that boomstick and that snipe and that pistol here. We're going to see if they can find a pick here, but both players pretty entrenched. I don't think you'll find a pick early on to start this off.
But they both are getting closer to this A site. They both just jumped through the window. Let's see if they go for a quick sight. Oh, Trademark does find Mojo for the first kid. Skippy with the big 2-piece to end the round for Sasky Shotgunners. And man, that round went absolutely crazy. But Skippy, he got the ace. I just saw that right now. He's got the ace. So man, that was a big round for Skippy and big round for Sasky Shotgunners.
Yeah, just, I mean, that was a weird round. Like, watching that entire time, the players just circle around. Mojo spent the entire time in the A bomb site room. Like, he just didn't move. He got in there at the start. Bonkers died off the rip, and then you're just kind of standing there going, well, like, what do I do now? And Minnesota just got completely thrown off by that one, by, I believe it was Mojo going all the way around to the P2 area. So that threw them off completely on where the team was going to be. And then, you know, go on a big fat rotation and go from there. Cornholio, though, has that sniper out, and BB is going to find Skippy. So that's going to shut down that early first blood, or sorry, that kill streak there. Cornholio is at least going to spot a player pushed up, so knows that there's somebody here, except that player is gone. So, unfortunately, Cornholio's waiting for somebody that is not going to show up anytime soon, but now all of a sudden Vermont's in a 1v4, and uh-oh. Where'd the whole team go?
Yeah, his team just all got shut down in Dojo. Vermont does see Cornholio on the back, so he does make it a 1v3. I mean, yeah, 1v3. So this technically could be a 1v4 clutch for Vermont if he takes us down. But Bomb is down, so time is going to be against him. He's going to run through mid. He gets founded out. Vermont goes down. Minnesota Floppr tie this up at 1-1. And you saw after BB started off with the first blood, the team just went through Dojo and through mid and got those second two kills. And just left Vermont by himself in that back corner, Zymes, in that top window, just waiting for him to peek. As soon as he peeks, takes him down, ties this up 1-1. Minnesota Floppr. I mean, this is a good start to destroy so far. We're 1-1. Let's see how this round 3 goes.
Yeah, we're going to see who's going to step up now. I mean, Trademarks is your S&D X factor on the side of Minnesota, who's been, spent a lot of time covering a lot of ground on the map. Basically marathon runner here has been running back and forth in a number of places. For the first time, it looks like we're going to have players meeting right off the rip, and Captain Bonkers, counter sniper out, is going to take out Cornholio, so there's going to be a big start there. He's going to find that pick. They're going to have to dig Trademarks out of this position, though. Stun is going to check. No, they know that he's here, and they're going to go for that clear, and there it is. So all of a sudden, Zyme's now in a 1v4. We're just trading 1v4s across every which way.
Yeah, that's it. And then before he can even try to even get one to make it a 1v3, he gets taken down in back, in his back little train, dojo train. I don't know what this little area right here is called, but this little area right here, he gets taken down. Skippy on a 6-1, just being that big dog for Sasky. Sasky up 2-1. This is gonna be a good search and destroy. We're gonna see which team is gonna make some good mid-round adjustments, because right now Skippy 6-1, currently on a 2 streak, but he's just doing everything his team needs him to do. Captain Bonkers with the counter snipe may be an X factor for Sasky Shotgunners, but let's see what they do here. Minnesota Floppr do have the bomb. They are going to take this towards the B site. Captain Bonkers is here with the sniper. He does take the shot. He misses both of the shots he takes, but he does. Oh no, Vermont does take Trademark. Zymes takes down Captain Bonkers. So there goes the snipers. Trades are going back and forth as now we're down to a 2v2 with Skippy and Mojo, Cornholio, and Zymes.
Yep, and Cornholio does have a Dravik in hand, so, did end up putting the sniper away for this play. They're going to go on a bit of an adventure here. That bomb is actually down over on... Wait, nobody picked it up. The Minnesota players have left the bomb over on B. They're going to A, and then, yeah, they just realized now we left the bomb behind. Neither player has the bomb on their back. I don't know if Skippy has seen that. Potentially has, and is going to spot this player for free. So there's a free kill and is going to get out for absolutely nothing. And now Zymes, in a 1v2, has to recover this bomb, has to deal with the 2 players, and can't do so. So a bit of a, pressure the moment error, I guess, maybe coming out of Minnesota, where they just kind of left the bomb behind, went on a full rotation, and didn't realize they had left it behind. It was a little bit awkward, especially after that opening engagement, sort of going relatively in their favor, but there's going to be a win going the way of the side of Saskatchewan there as we get ready to go into the next round. Is Sasky up 3-1?
Yeah, man. I mean, they probably was like, well, I thought you had the bomb. But nah, man. That was a mental error right there for Minnesota Floppr leaving that bomb. Sasky Shotgunners, they're up right here, 3-1. They on this offense look like they're going to do a 2-2 splits, and 2 players towards B, 1 player towards mid, 1 player towards this A side. They're going to get a head up between player 8 and player 4. They are both stunned. Mojo does see that player in that bottom, in that room, but Trademarks get him with the nade. So there is the first blood via nade for Mojo, but then the kills are just going. Skippy and Vermont follow them up with 2. There is Cornholio with the snipe on to Captain Bonkers to make this a 2v2. Cornholio, Trademarks versus Skippy in Vermont. Bomb is down outside this window. Trademarks does find Vermont. Cornholio with the Dravik out takes down Skippy, and Minnesota Floppr make this a 3v2.
Yep, I mean, it's just they're able to... Cornholio picking up a Dravik at the end is able to get that trade. It was just a 2v2 awkward scenario. Goes the way of Minnesota at the end. So it is going to be a big win for the side of Sasky. as it is going to be going to the next round. Or sorry, side of Minnesota. Excuse me. Minnesota won that round, not Sasky. But Minnesota now evening the odds a little more, 3-2 as they're on the attack. We're going to see where they take it. And this time, I don't think they're going to forget the bomb somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, no, they're definitely not, but they're making their way towards this A site. Looks like they got a full A clearance. Minnesota Sasky Shotgunners just gonna clear out this B site. Just gonna give up A for free. I guess they feel like they could just retake it, but this A site is for free. Bomb going down on this A site. Cornholio did back up that player. I think it was player 2. That's Vermont in dojo. Bomb down. 42 seconds now for Sasky Shotgunners to try to retake. You can see them trying to go through dojo. There is battles, Captain Bonkers, and that's trademarks are just, I mean, yeah, trademark, I'm not trademarks, Vermont and Captain Bonkers, both in dojo, just trying to find one. You got player 1 on the flank, Skippy. He does find designs, but Cornholio already does find trademarks, and I mean finds Vermont and Captain Bonkers. So Mojo and Skippy are the last 2 alive. Now it's just Skippy versus Cornholio in a 1v1. 7 seconds left. Not enough time for the plant, so he's going to check the plant. Get out with his life. Do not die in these 2 seconds. He's a challenge anyway. And there goes Minnesota Floppr tying this out 3-3.
If they're able to, I mean, just waste enough time at the very end there. I mean, it was a really big flank there too, actually, by Sasky, able to pick up some of those at-range kills there and find the flank onto the player protecting the flank in Zymes there. So, you know, big kills there from Sasky to open things up. They just didn't get there in time, really. And by the time it came down to 1v1, Sasky just, you know, out of time. Minnesota more than happy to just burn the last of that time off, and they've complete that round. So the sniper is going to be back in Cornholio's hands, and Captain Bonkers has put it away here as they've headed over towards B. But Cornholio is still going to find that first blood, is going to pick off. Oh. A little bit of vac action going on here, right through the wall. Is able to find just straight bullets into Trademark's head. And number 6, they are going to deal with BB there. And now it's going to be a 3v2 here in Sasky's favor, and they should have B now for free.
Yeah, they got B right now. The bomb should go down shortly as they're planning now. You see both players going through mid, but Vermont, Cornholio takes down Vermont with the sniper. Both of Minnesota players are taking this bomb through mid. You got player 5, probably gonna go all the way through to the back. They're both deciding to go through the back, but Captain Bonkers and Mojo are already making this read. Probably not making this read, but the players who's going to be the first one to see is going to be Captain Bonkers. He does see that glint. So now you got Mojo probably going to have to make the play through mid, and we got 18 seconds for the defuse. Are we going to see the defuse happen? They know where he's at. They're trying to signal that, but Captain Bonkers, he wins the 1-on-1. He's got to wait for his teammate Mojo to go on the flank. He waits for him, and Sasky Shotgunners with the patience take the round 4-3.
Yep, they're able to find it, and they're able to just waste the time. So big kill there as well, as Mojo's going to find that last kill. Just coming in from behind. Zyme's not ready for it, as you're able to figure that one out and able to pick that one up. I'm going to check, do we actually have x-ray settings in this? Oh, it is on. Oh, lovely. All right, well, of course it doesn't work.
We have X-ray, but yeah, I was noticing we wasn't seeing it, but yeah, that kill through the wall was spectacular. But here we go, starting off this round 8, we got Minnesota Floppr on the attacking side. Like they're gonna attack this B side. There's only one player here, that's player 8, who's gonna be trying to defend this off, but hopefully he doesn't see the glint of Cornholio as they're getting closer and closer to this B side. There is a first kill by BB, with Vermont trades that up. Vermont with a big 2-piece to give his team the 3-2 advantage. I think Vermont got another kill. Yeah, that was the last one on the 2-piece. So it's 3-2 advantage. Bomb look like it's gonna wrap his way towards A.
They just swap positions.
Miss each other. I think player 1 may be reading this play towards A. He's looking like he's right behind him. Cornholio. He's right. I mean, no, that's not Cornholio. That's player 1. He's making his way towards A. I think player 1 made this read and told his teammate they're going towards A, but Minnesota Floppr, they're still running. They're just going on a marathon all around the map, taking this all the way around back to B.
Yeah, we're going on a full adventure here, apparently. I mean, time is ticking down. We're in the last 20 seconds, and the bomb is finally going to get planted here by Cornholio, who, you know, has been doing a great job. It's going to go down, though. The bomb was planted, but both players are going to fall. The sweep comes back. They're able to get back there. and find these guys in time. So Minnesota's going to fall. It's going to be 5-3 now. Sasky on map point.
Yeah, that was a big round right there for Sasky to get that 2-round little cushion in this round. I mean, that round was big. They saw the rewrap towards A. I think that shot that he fired probably gave his position away. They were like, oh, they're on us. We got to rewrap this back to B, but it was just too many. The routes they took, one player going through mid, both players going through that top side of B through that little big route was the route that they need. Now they're off the round. They can close it here in this round 9. What are they going to do here, CL?
I mean, we're going to see right now. I mean, Cornholio's going to be set up all the way in the back. Is going to pick Captain Bonkers right off the rip. So there's the big first blood. And honestly, Cornholio, I think, alone probably has about 5 of the first blood so far out of 8. I mean, it seems to always just be an early pick here out of Cornholio. One time, you know, Captain Bonkers won it, but this was not one of those times. BB's going to find Vermont, which now is going to leave these 2 Sasky players in a bit of an awkward spot here. You got to go so deep to find where these players are, and Zymes is going to find one, which is Skippy here in a 1v4 is going to find one, but nothing else after that. Sasky, I think Sasky really just has to commit to planting the bomb. Like, this is, you know, the second or third time on the attack where they've kind of pushed up into the bomb site and pushed through the site, but they don't plant the bomb. You just got to get that objective down, get it in, and put a timer on the round, but instead, you know, they're pushing forward, even in the disadvantageous position. Like, I get it, but, you know, you just got to do it sometimes. And, well, Minnesota now is at 5-4 here. They're 1 round away from forcing a round 11.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be big. I mean, Skippy's going 12-4. I mean, he's doing what he needs to do, but Minnesota Floppr are just playing together as a team. All of them just doing everything everything together as a team, and it's working out for them, keeping them close. Cornholio does get the first blood on the Mojo, so that does give him the advantage here to start off this round to give us closer to around 11. Bomb looks like it's making its way towards that A site, maybe towards B, but it's still just stuck back in their spawns. They're just still taking their time. They're going to try to see, let's see if we get one more pick before we move this up. We got to be careful because round 11, I mean, we cannot lose this round, and this is what Minnesota Floppr are going through right now.
Yeah, and the thing that I was checking as I basically just missed that kill there off the rip, Minnesota has 8 out of 10 first bloods in this game. They've first blooded going into this round 7 out of 9 rounds, and they lost 5 of those. Like, that is a crazy stat line to happen, and now they're down to just 2 players left. They're able to just dive all the way in on towards Cornholio. That's going to be a 1v3. Trademarks has fallen. It's BB now. Last alive in the 1v3 has to deal with all these players. Is going to just dive around the back wall. Might live a little long. I don't know how he's still alive, honestly. He's got 15 seconds, though. He's got to clear all 3 players. This will basically be a miracle if he can do so, but he won't be able to do it. Sasky's going to win it, which is an insane stat ratio. The conversion of Minnesota getting first bloods to round wins, not there. 8 out of 10 first bloods, and you'll only get 4 of those rounds, unfortunately. And we're back. We got Overload coming your way. Minnesota Floppr, Sasky Shotgunners, we're back in business here as BB's going to find first blood on towards Captain Bonkers. That first objective already spawned in the middle of the map, and it's going to be immediately in Sasky's control. Or, sorry, Minnesota's control. Sasky's on the back foot already. It is already going their way forward.
Yeah, Minnesota Floppr. You see they're trying to get pushed up, but there's 2 big kill by Skippy. Skippy's being that big dog that he's picking up from the Search and Destroy. He's making sure he's keeping that B objective safe, killing off any Minnesota Floppr who tried to get close. Now he's pushed up on the steps. He finally gets taken down. Ball is stuck in this middle of the map. Kills are going back and forth, and we see the pin strike kill feed. You got player 5, player 1 now. He does pick up the ball, but player 5 is going to be that player who couldn't cut him off as he tries to make his way towards his B side. He does take him down. Teammates are there. Trademark with a big 2. Zymes get 1, but Vermont, big 2 of his own, stops the push, stops the ball right there at the, probably like the 10-yard line, makes the ball reset back to mid, and Minnesota Floppr now trying to figure out how we're going to get this ball to this B side.
I mean, the pressure is just relentless right now coming out of Minnesota. You can see they're just pushing forward, but Sasky's been able to hold at the goal line over and over and over again. It just keeps happening. They've been able to do a fantastic job of this. Vermont is on the retreat basically right now, just trying to book it. Is going to have to sprint to the other side, is trying to get these teammates spawning up give him some cover and see if he can get out of there with his life. He's going to at least make it out, but loses 2 teammates in the process and will finally get stopped. I think that's, yeah, that's Trademarks on the side over towards P3. He was able to find that instead and is going to be the one in charge of running this. You can see Sasky's going to have to hold again at the goal line. Captain Bonkers is spawning maybe a little too far this time. And that is going to be Cornholio punching it through for the score. That's going to be 1-0 now, Minnesota.
Yeah, and it's spawning down there underplaying, and they already got this A side control. So if that player can spawn up and just run to that bomb site while they keep control of this A site, they could probably get another score. But you got to watch for player A, because player A could be sneaky. He could get the ball. He could find player 4 in the back, but he does not find him. There's Trademarks now picking up the ball. He needs his teammate to get player 7, who's watched through mid. Trademarks with the pistol, challenge him out. Does he take him down? He does take him down. Trademarks gets the score, puts 2 points on the board for the Minnesota Floppr, and now the ball has resetted itself back down to the ball. And player 1 already has it, and they're already trying to take B control. They got close to to the 25-yard line before the ball does get dropped. Player 5, he is the closest to the ball. Will he pick it up or will he try to push ahead? He does get taken down. Ball still at the 10-yard line. Will player 3 get it? If he can get it before it resets, you probably can't see a score. They do pick it up. They do take it in, and Minnesota Floppr got a 3-0 lead.
Yeah, it's just, they've just been absolutely in the blender right here coming out of the spawn. Minnesota is just holding them down. I mean, BB's 14-6 in the first half so far. Just gets on top of the B point and then just guns them all down as they run out of spawn. Sasky has basically barely been able to move on the map so far. I mean, the objective is spawned it back in the middle. Minnesota is going to pick that one up once again. They're probably going to be more than happy to try to run in another point here. It's going to be Zymes who has that in his hand. Is going to have a pistol out, trying to push forward, but teammates are going to start falling, so he knows, you know, maybe just back it up a little bit. Don't have to push this too far. We'll get taken out. So Sasky here has a chance to push out some players here, but BB's still going to find a kill with that pistol. So despite all of that, I mean, Sasky is going to hold the line here, but they are still trying to fight their way out of their spawn. The pressure is unrelenting. Cornholio is still up top here, just putting down bullets. And I mean, it seems almost inevitable before Minnesota scores their 4th of the half.
Yeah, the ball just reset it back down to this mid area. So now they got to big Cornholio, Trademarks, big 3. This is the opportunity they need, but they need a player to go pick up the ball. The ball's all the way back in mid. Cornholio would be that player who's going to be the designated ball carrier, but I think it may be too late. You got all Sasky Shotgunners spawning up, clearing out that back line, saying, you guys get out of our base. Now the ball is at the 50-yard line, still waiting there, still waiting for the reset. You got all Sasky Shotgunners, we got 3 Sasky Shotgunners players pushed up, trying to put pressure on Minnesota Floppr as they do get a big 3 kills. Now this ball is trying to make its way towards A before it finally gets dropped. 6 seconds to go in the round. Minnesota Floppr will pick it up one last chance at this B site.
Yep, they're going to do right here for the overtime, but instead, I can't believe how abrupt that screen is, honestly. It just, like, the halftime screen comes up so fast, right as Zymes dives in midair, trying to dive into the point, but not able to succeed in doing so. I mean, Trademark 16-13, big set of kills. It was a huge half for Minnesota, but they only got 3, actually, out of that. The defense from Sasky holding it down and doing a really good job of just, you know, playing defense, holding them back, and despite getting spawn trapped for a good portion of that round, they did a really good job of holding the line. You didn't give up 4, which, I mean, based on the way it started, it looked like it was going to be 4 in a minute, but instead, they hold on, and now they have a chance here because they're now on the side that, you know, a lot of teams will prefer to be scoring into, and you have a shot at this.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely do have a shot, man. This is the better side, you say, going from right to left. You see it, but you see the kill feed is still lighting up purple for the Minnesota Floppr, but it does not matter. You got the pressure from Sasky Shotgunners trying to get this ball. Ball is in the middle of the map. As you can see, ball bomb. It's right there, our EMP device, right there in the middle of the map. The Minnesota Floppr is trying to get this kill, starting to push up. You got player 7. He got to find this player on the cross, but he misses them, and you got Minnesota Floppr scoring on the left, you know, scoring from left to right, which you don't really see that much, but this is going to make Sasky Shotgunners have to get more aggressive. Ball picked up on the underside of the plant, and you got Minnesota Floppr already trying to push this thing to A for another score to go up 5-0. Minnesota Floppr starting to roll in this game of Overload.
Yeah, but I mean, I can see right now, I mean, it's just, you know, it's just all Minnesota basically right now, as Vermont is going to continue to be pushing forward here, trying to just clear things out, as the ball is going to be spawning here over on this side of the map, over inside of P2, and this is a chance now for Sasky to kind of reset here if they can. Trademarks inside of mid is actually going to be wrapping around. You can see Vermont's on 5 spree as well if he can, you know, finish. Actually, as I said, he goes down. So I was just about to say, you know, Hellstorm would be pretty critical here, and at least, you know, starting a comeback, but unfortunately, he's going to hit the deck. No cruise missile earned. Captain Bonkers now pushing forward, is trying to be that X factor, the one that the team relies on the most in situations like these, and is able to find 3 before hitting the deck. So we're going to see that ball has been pushed up. But again, you know, not able to get it over the line and through. It's now Minnesota's turn to mount a defense here, and the line has been spread out. They are holding, and Julio has the ball.
Yeah, that ball. They're making their way towards this B side. Maybe they just want to just hold it. I mean, I don't know, but you can see Minnesota Floppr. They're trying to score no matter what side they're on. They're going left, they're going right. They do not care. They're just trying to score. BB with a big 2 to take down Mojo, and Captain Bonkers make that a 3 as he takes it down Skippy with Vermont, and now he takes down Vermont. So give him 4. They're trying to take this to the B side, but all of Sasky Shotgunners has spawned up on the B side. They were trying to take the ball towards A, but they get taken down. You got Captain Bonkers now being this ball carrier, trying to take it through this P2 side, but I think he's going to run into a wave of Minnesota Floppr, but it does not matter. Pistol takes down Corn Julio. Ball is dropped in that P2 area, and Sasky Shotgunners got 2 minutes to try to put 5 on the board.
Yep, I mean, it's a long road ahead, that's for sure. I mean, Captain Bonkers just put bullets into every single player on the side of Minnesota Floppr there. Every player just got a little dose of damage there. But Minnesota is once again going to hold the line, as they're going to prevent a score from going through. Skippy's going to find a couple, but that device is still on the ground pretty close over here. It's going to be 1. Trademarks can't find the second. Vermont's going to pick up that kill. Skippy's going to be wrapping around, is going to be looking for this player. Knows that it's coming around the outside, is going to try to be there to meet these players here in person, but it's actually just going to have every player, it seems like, from the side of Minnesota in front of him, but finds a couple of the kills, are critical ones. Times with a couple of pistol kills, but BB on a 5 spree again. It's 35 and 18, going near double positive right now. Is going to make it officially double positive. It's just absolutely on a spree right now.
Yeah, he's absolutely frying right
God.
now, clearing out this A site for his team. Currently on an 8 streak as we look at his POV. Gets the bomb, he detonates it, and that's 6-0 for the Minnesota Floppr. 60 seconds, that's a minute to go on this clock. 2 more points is all is needed to call game for Minnesota. All they get is the time run out. Captain Bonkers does get a big 3-piece, but BB, he is on his gameplay. He's in his bag, and he's doing what he needs to do. Ball is down in mid area over here by that wall. 40 seconds to go, and Minnesota Floppr are just going to cruise their way to a victory. Probably just play the kills, but the kills are starting to light up for Sasky Shotgunners. They are a team that would not give up. You cannot shut them out. Mojo trying to go in for the slide. He does get the 1 point, so Sasky Shotgunners will at least get 1 and not get completely shut out in this overload, and they're trying to get 2. His ball is going to spawn under plane.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just, I mean, the BB factor right now for the team, you know, the top performer on the side of Sasky in that first map was Mojo. Not as hot of a one here. It's basically just been shut down by Minnesota, as they're going to go through, and it's going to be 6-1. Not shut out like you said, so at least Sasky puts 1 up on the board, but Minnesota's respawn control looked fantastic.
Yeah, it did, man. BB, man, 42 and 22. Man, they said the young crackhead kid. Yes, sir. Both Hardpoints. He has been absolutely amazing. This is a play that we was just looking at right here, and they're showing it as the best play because it was.
3rd time's the charm. We're back into it. We're on board with BB to start things off. Minnesota looking to close out the series here if possible. And on the other hand, we got Sasky trying to at least make it to a map 5 if possible. We would love a map 5. That would be great. But we're going to see here, Mojo going to find some big 2-piece there. Finds both BB and Trademarks. Shuts down BB. Like you said, you got to kill BB. And hey, that's a pretty good start off right now.
Yeah, and they just got control of P1, and now they're starting to get the kills that go in their favor. They're watching these players trying to come from this bottom side of the map. They're trying to get bottom control of the map, and you see them getting the kills as they're working through the bottom. Kills are going in their favor. They did finally lose the time, but they do have a 5-17 lead. They're trying to get to the back of this map to control the back so they can get control of these P2 spawns. But they got to watch out for player 3, Zymes, who is back here just being a nuisance. Maybe they take him down. They do finally take down Zymes. P2 has jumped off. Minnesota does have control, but the spawns are spawning up favorable for Sasky Shotgunners. So let's see if they come in through this bottom and get a break. But they got to watch out for Julio, who's going to be the first line of defense. He gets taken down. There goes 3 of the Minnesota Floppers go down. All up to BB and player 4, who are here, trademarks, who are trying to hold the line. They are holding the line. So no matter that Sasky Shotgunners get this close spawn, the gunny of Minnesota Floppr is just too much.
I mean, it's just chaos here, but eventually Sasky is going to overrun and pick this one up, and it's going to be, you know, Zymes on the outside is able to find one, is going to support for a second. It's going to be Vermont on the outside of the point, trying to just work around the outside and look for this last player. That was BB, who does end up going down. So Minnesota now going to go on this rotation here, but last few seconds is going to give Sasky the lead. So start things off, and actually Sasky's going to be here pretty early to this rotation here as well, as they're going to find, well, Mojo's going to find Zymes, trying to find the second player. They know there should be someone else around here, but instead he got players. That was an odd spawn, actually. Did Skippy spawn there, or was that just a wraparound? Because here comes Cornholio from behind, because they weren't expecting it, because they thought, you know, they'd spawned up there. Everything is clear. Not the case, because Den is a little bit odd when it comes to some spawns. Just like, you know, a few other maps that we got here. You're going to see shots coming through, and BB's going to find one, gets traded out immediately. And, you know, Sasky's looking pretty good so far, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, they're trying to force this game 5. That's what we're trying to see. But you see the big battles going down on this P3. We getting one out by Minnesota, even though Captain Buckers did get a big 2, but BB did end up clearing that hill, holding down the hill. He gets another kill. So he's going to keep accruing time for Minnesota Floppr. We do see the onslaught of Sasky Shotgunners coming from this bottom left side of the map, and player 7, he is on. Well, I mean, player 7, he is on to get the rest of that scrap time. This rotation to P4 is on Vermont with a big 2-piece. They're gonna have to watch out for player 4. He's coming through this window, but he does get taken down by Captain Bonkers. Now the next 2 Minnesota Floppers are gonna hit the roof, and they do find one. There is one kill. Can Mojo find a big 2? He's hiding by the tree, but the tree is being enough defense, and it holds off long enough for Julio to get up to big 2-piece. Back Mojo up, and Minnesota Floppr on top of this hill.
I mean, Mojo's trying to push through. Is it gonna, you know, shake off the nade? Is looking for where this player has gone, and it's gonna be Zymes tucked in the corner, who's eventually gonna find that kill. 2-piece comes in. Minnesota's going to pick up 2 kills there, and they're going to hold down the time on this hill right now. They're going to take the lead, so another lead swap here coming in. The rest of, you know, Sasky, a little fragmented, coming in a couple of different areas here. It's going to be Captain Bonkers, finds one, is looking for the second in armory, and is going to find it, so big kill there. Is able to find these and hold down the point, knows where these players are spawning from, but doesn't really have much team support, because the rest of the team is on the other end of the map. Everyone is, you know, elsewhere, basically, for the side of Sasky. As we're headed back into this next set of rotations here, we are going to see, you know, the trophy systems are coming alive. Feels like I haven't seen much of trophy systems recently until this map here, but Trademark's coming in from the flank, is able to find one. Is going to be looking to try to support the rest of the team. Captain Bonkers is going to be in, but, you know, P1 was pretty good for Sasky, and we're going to see if they're going to do it again. And Mojo comes in with the assassination. And there is, down goes Cornholio in hole. And it's just, you know, really nicely played here out of Sasky so far, but they are going to go for that early P2 rotation here. It looks like they got to hold on to these spawns if they can, but here comes Minnesota.
Yeah, second set of rotations may be Minnesota's rotations that they got a big P1 and finally get a lead to go in their favor. The game was pretty much tied as we reset it. Now we're going back into 2. Spawns are favoring Minnesota. They are not getting that back spawn, but it seemed like last time it didn't matter who had that back spawn. So Minnesota Floppr are going to get this early time. They know that Sasky Shotgunners are going to be coming through front and coming through mid, so they're going to try to block those players as they come. They get the early 10 seconds, no contention. First 2 players, Captain Captain Bonkers and Skippy, they go down. Mojo does find a nade, but he's the only player up. Him and player 6 now. The first 2 players up. Player 6 does go down. Mojo finds a big 2-piece. Captain Bonkers and Mojo, the kill feed are trading, and they do break in. Sasky are in. Spawns have flipped. Now it's Minnesota Floppr time to break in.
We're gonna see. I mean, Minnesota is all. Oh, that was quite the body that just went flying there from Captain Bonkers. Just Skippy trying to hold it down, is able to find one. The pistol is up, and Vermont's gonna save his life there, but Trade will find a kill from the outside and is gonna put shots into a second player here. So Minnesota trying to break through, but Mojo is gonna be there trying to hold the line, and I mean, basically everyone gets forced off the point. Last 3 seconds are gonna go the way of Sasky. But Minnesota's still going to have about a 7-point lead. We're going to head over to P3. It's only Captain Bonkers. Somehow there is nobody else here. So everyone is on their way in. Bonkers is going to find one with that nade. Zymes is going to fall. There's going to be trying to get that flick on a trade. Can find it, but Sasky going to get this early time, and they're going to retake the lead.
Yeah, I mean, that was a big play right there for Captain Bonkers, man, on their rotations. Got 2 big kills. I mean, 3 big kills. So that just made it a little bit longer for Minnesota Floppr to get to this hill. As they're getting to this hill, they're keeping this lead. 130-112 is the current score right now. They got the lead. They got the hold. They're getting the kills to go in their favor. Even as pinstripe, they still got one more player there. Mojo though getting a big 2-piece currently on a 5. So this is what Sasky's got going to do. They needed a player just to turn up, just to start getting kills, just to start making it a little bit difficult for Minnesota Floppr. Last 9 seconds, like it may go in the favor of Minnesota Floppr. Big rotation here for Cornholio as he does find one, but he cannot find the second. Captain Bonkers is being the guy on rotation for Sasky Shotgunners to make sure that his team is getting this early time.
Yep, and he's going to try to push out with a teammate there, but 3 kills are going to go the way of Minnesota here, so Sasky is going to be just left of Vermont, who's trying to hold down this back spawn, but because BB isn't there back with them, they don't get those spawns, and now they're going to be spawning coming through the top roofs instead, a little farther away here, so this is going to be a bit of a problem. Sasky's been forced right out of the point, and they are spawning so far away right now. They got to make their traversal all the way across the rooftops, try to get close here. Trademarks is on a 5 killing spree now, is on a, you know, just a streak right now. Vermont trying to push in. Trademarks is going to find that one too, will go down. So no cruise missile here. And Minnesota just got a whole chunk of time for basically for free as they're finally going to get broken. Potentially, it's Captain Bonkers in. Skippy's in. Vermont's going to find another kill as well, and it's going to be contested. The last 1v1 on the hill. It's Trademarks, of course, with the 2-piece. And that's going to be the point lockdown for Minnesota right as time expires. I mean, they're literally fighting for every possible point right now.
Yeah, man, we're going to another set of rotations. Minnesota Floppr came out with a 2-point lead, and now we got to see if they're going to win it here. We will see the rotation, but P1 is going in the favor right now. Sasky Shotgunners kills are starting to light up for the Sasky Shotgunners, but this here right now is neutral right now, 166 to 157. So if you're Minnesota Floppr, you'll take a neutral hill if the time is going to tick down in your favor. But Sasky Shotgunners now are going to step on it. You got to find these 2 players playing behind the back wall, and they cannot. It's 4 big kills for Minnesota Floppr. Are going to send Sasky Shotgunners back to the spawns, making them rethink. Do we need P1? Do we need the rest of the 16 seconds, or do we favor P2? And P2 looks like that's what they're going to do. They got to make this P2 a strong P2 if they're going to keep themselves in this game, Shio.
Yep, no, they most definitely do it. I mean, that's a pretty good start right now, especially with the 4th spawn out. But Sasky, number 7 is Captain Bonkers, actually just spawned out on the other side of the map as well. They're going to gun. They're going to lose everybody, and they lose the spawns in the process. So that early setup that Sasky had, immediately gone. They're not able to get anything out of it. They're going to lose 3 more players here. And as they're beginning to fall behind. The whole time that they've been doing up until now is kind of falling apart in a single hill right now. This is 30-second lead now for Minnesota. This is the biggest lead that Minnesota's held so far in this series, or sorry, in this map. But it is just all going their way right now. And right as I say that, I mean, Sasky just completely evicts Minnesota out of the point. So, you know, all the worries that I guess I had basically for nothing here is, you know, continue to just fight over this. There's only about 13 seconds here. You got to think about the rotation. You can see Zymes already on the other end of the map. So Sasky going to make their way out. Everybody is here basically, and it's basically just going to be all this fighting now in the middle of the map as they're trying to make their way over to this new point.
They got to get there. I mean, 203, 192. You know, when Minnesota Floppr gets a little lead, They like to hold it. So this is what they're going to try to do. They can win it here. There's no contest here, but you know it's going to be a tough task to do, especially against the Hardpoint team, against a Sasky Shotgunner team that's trying to force around 11. They got to watch out for BB, who was just posted over here in the back. Sasky Shotgunners are trying to accrue Hardpoint time, but down this hill feed with the pinstripe kill feed is just going back and forth. You hold it for a couple seconds, and then you hold it for a couple seconds, and then we'll let it go neutral for a couple seconds. That's just how this P3 is going. But Sasky Shotgunners with 20 seconds are going to try to take the hill. Zymes was the closest player here. He gets taken down. It's going to be up to player 4 trademarks to try to make a play. He gets taken down, and 12 seconds could go in the favor of Sasky Shotgunners.
Yeah, I mean, it's just chaos around the map as we're headed towards this P4. I mean, it's just such a close map so far between these two teams right now, but Minnesota is going to break it open. They are going to secure all of this area and the spawns as well, so you can see Sasky has got to get it on this break. You're going to get one, maybe two chances here to try to get this one blocked away if you can and break through, and they will do so. They're going to go right through. They're going to find all the kills necessary. They're only going to lose one or two, and they're going to clear it out. So now the tables have turned. It's Minnesota that now has to get it on towards this, and that's going to be a big opening kill there by BB. He's going to turn the point white. Not going to be anyone capping this right now. As well, actually 3 players from Sasky are going to go down, and now Sasky, you're going to have maybe one shot at this.
Yeah, they got one shot at this because this is a win for Minnesota Floppers if they do not break in. So here we go. We got player 6, we got player 4. They did continue, get him off the hill temporarily, but there is still 10 seconds left for Minnesota Floppr to win this game. Player 8, he is here trying to get a kill. Oh, he did the jump off the wall, and he cannot get the kill, but there's 5 seconds left, and this can be won on time. If we do not get a contest, the sprint is in. He cannot get there. Minnesota Floppr hold off the Sasky Shotgunners to win 250 to I think like 220, 230. I think I missed it.
It was just chaos at the very end. I mean, I'm pretty sure that was a last second tick as well. It was basically like 0.5 seconds before that would have ticked over and you would have gone to a new hill, but instead they weren't able to contest it long enough, and it goes the